A very warm welcome to each and everyone present today. My name is Vineet and I'll be the instructor for all of you. In today's class, we'll be going through the basics of Java in the course that is OCPJP certification course that is powered by Edureka. Okay. Now, OCPJP certification is very important certification that is provided by Oracle itself. Blesson says hello, hello Blesson. Now, in order to go for this certification, you have to prepare yourself thoroughly. Okay, so you need a course, you need a preparation before that. So you should go through a course before actually taking up the final OCPJP examination. So let's understand why should you go for OCPJP 6.0 certification first of all. First of all, you'll be receiving a certificate by Oracle. So it is a big name. It is a big thing. If you have got a certification from Oracle, it is like an excellence badge on your resume. Whenever you mention that yes, I am certified by Oracle, then you get a preference while seeking for job if you are a fresher. If you are a professional, it will help you to switch jobs, right? And finally, it takes you a step ahead than others. Always, whenever you are going for an interview or any job, you'll be preferred more than others because you are Oracle certified. So this is one reason why you should take OCPJP. Now, in order to take OCPJP, you should be prepared thoroughly before that. Now, let's understand how to prepare for OCPJP 6.0. For doing that, you should have the understanding of core Java concepts thoroughly because the syllabus of OCPJP includes the core Java part, so you should be thorough with the core Java concepts. You should be solving simulation tests regularly. What is simulation test? It is like mock paper, exactly similar to the OCPJP examination. Okay, so these simulation tests will actually prepare you for the final exam. In our course, we'll be providing you 10 to 20 simulation tests so that you are very familiar with all these examinations, all the pattern that is followed in OCPJP. Okay. Finally, you should have an overview of advanced Java concepts because sometimes what happens, even in the OCPJP examination, you get questions from the advanced concepts as well. So you should have an overview of these concepts, as well as not just for the examination. This course actually prepares you for the entire future. Whenever you go for a job, the OCPJP certification is not only good enough. It will certainly get you a preference, but after getting the job, they will expect more from you. But you only have the core Java concepts, so that won't help. For that, you should have the advanced Java concepts as well that you'll be receiving in this very course. Now, you should have a continuous practice under guidance. Guidance is very important while preparing for OCPJP. You should know how to solve a problem in how much time each question has to be attempted, right? Now, sorry. Without wasting any more time, we'll just move on to the Java concept. We'll start with Java now. What is Java? Java is not just a programming language, but it is a complete platform for object-oriented programming. That means in Java, all the OOP concepts are being followed, like inheritance, encapsulation, abstraction. Okay? So everything in Java actually revolves around object. You have to make an object first of all, and then only you can do certain operations on them. So you should be clear that Java follows the object-oriented programming. What is JRE? JRE is the Java Runtime Environment. Whenever you have to run a Java application onto your system, you should have JRE installed in your system. You'll find JRE whenever you go to C drive. In that, you'll go to program files, and then you'll find a Java folder. In that Java folder, you can find this JRE because many softwares uses Java. Okay, there are many applications are Java applications, hence you should have a JRE installed onto your system as well. What is JDK? JDK is Java Development Kit. Whenever you have to develop a Java application, in order to develop that, you need a Java Development Kit that has to be installed onto your system. If you do not have a JDK, you cannot develop a Java application. So all of you, please write down on the chat window, are you clear with Java, JRE and JDK? If yes, then I'll move forward to the next slide. Everyone? Darshan says, yep, clear. What about the rest of you? Bikram says yes. Okay, then I hope it is clear to each and every one of you. Moving on, I come to Java Virtual Machine. Now what is Java Virtual Machine? It actually makes Java platform independent. First of all, it runs the bytecode. Second, it makes Java platform independent. Whenever you write a Java code, that is the Java source code, it is the .java file. After that, you compile the file, it gets converted into .class file, which is called the bytecode. Okay, now that bytecode is sent to other systems locally or through network. By doing so, on every system there is a JVM present. Now each and every JVM can understand what is a bytecode, can read the bytecode, and after reading the bytecode, it converts the bytecode into a language that could be understood by that particular machine. For every operating system, there is a different JVM. For like Windows, there is a different JVM. For Mac operating system, there is a different JVM. For Linux, there is a different one. But all the JVMs can understand the bytecode, and they will convert that bytecode into a machine language that could be understood by that particular operating system. Okay, so this is why Java is said to be platform independent language. That means it could run on any kind of operating system. Now let's understand how Java works. First of all, Java compilers convert your code from human readable to something called bytecode in the Java. That is, .java file gets converted into bytecode using the Java compilers. After that, Darshan says bytecode is machine dependent or not. Now, there's no such thing like bytecode is machine dependent, right? Bytecode is an intermediary language. That bytecode is only understood by a JVM. JVM is a machine dependent component which can convert the bytecode into a language that could be understood by that particular machine. Is that clear, Darshan? So, you cannot say bytecode is independent or dependent of a machine. Okay then, that's good. Darshan says okay. Now, after you convert the code into bytecode, it is interpreted by JVM. That means it has reached some other system. There is a JVM present. That JVM will convert that bytecode into a language that could be understood by that machine. In JVM, there is one more thing present, that is just-in-time compiler. Just-in-time compiler is a program that turns Java bytecode into instructions that can be sent directly to the processor. Okay, so I hope you are clear with this working. Please write down on the chat window if it is so. Each and every one of you. Darshan says yes. What about the rest of you? Blessing, Kartikeyan, Priyaranjan, Shivangi, Vikram, Akash, Aditya. Okay, I receive all the yeses now. That's good. Moving on. We come to the basic Java syntax. Now we'll be dealing with the programming part, how to actually code the Java application. Now, first of all, what are classes and objects? As I told you, in Java, everything revolves around classes and objects. So what is a class? A class is a collection of objects which have the same parameter as their class. Okay. Now what you do, every code that is written in Java actually comes inside a class. Okay. So you write the class keyword, after that you mention the name of the class and you open the curly braces. Within the braces you provide all your code. Now as it is written, it is a collection of objects which have the same parameter as the class. So class actually acts as a blueprint, it acts as a template. Using that template you can create as many objects as you want. Okay. Now an object is anything that really exists in the world. So whatever the real operation that has to be done will be done on objects. They are the real objects. They are the real components. Now if you see objects, if in a class there are methods, there are variables. So using that class, if you make any object, that object will contain these many things. That is, those variables that were present in the class as well as the methods that were present in that particular class. Let's try to see how you actually write a class. So I come to Eclipse. Now first of all, this is Eclipse. This is the software that you use for Java application development. So I'll make a project in it. I go to File, I go to New. In that I'll go to Java project. I'll give a name to this project. I'll say hello _ Java. I click on next, I click on finish. Now I've got my project on the left side, that is the package explorer. In that you can find a source folder. In this source folder you'll add your class. So I'll right click on it, I go to new, I add a class. In this I can name any class, first of all, like first class, okay, and I'll add the main method, I'll leave it, finish. So there is a public class, just forget this right now. Now whenever you define a class, you write the class keyword, and within that you write for the name of the class. After that you mention the name of the class. You open up the braces right here. So this is the parameter that is followed for defining a class. I'll just show you once again how to do it. I'll delete this one. I go to the package again, new, I go to class, give it a name, first underscore class. I click on this also, I'll add the main method. Guys, give me a second, I'll just be back. Okay then. So you created your class using your class keyword, that is class first class. Now within that I have mentioned a main method. What is the main method? Main method is considered to be the starting point of your application. Whenever you run your application, it directly calls the main method, and whatever the things that are present within the main method will get executed. Now I'll show you how to create the object of this class. I come inside, alright, that is the name of the class, first of all, that is first underscore class. I give the name, I give an object a name that is anything like OB or anything according to your choice, equals to new. Again you write the name of the class, first class, and you put the parenthesis after that, and then you mention the semicolon. So this statement will actually create an object of this first class, right? So all of you, are you clear how to use a class, how to create an object of a particular class? Please write down on the chat window. Everyone? Okay, Blessing says yes, Bikram says yes. Darshan says, what is the difference between object and instance? Both are the same thing, they are the same name for a same, okay, they are the different names for a same thing. You can call an object as an instance of a class, or you can say object of a class, okay? Okay then, let's get back to the presentation. I come to data types in Java. Now, in real world, you have got many kinds of values, like you have got numbers, you have got characters, letters, sentences. So how to use those values in your Java application, how to store those values, how to define those values in your application. For doing that, you have got data types in Java. Data types define the nature of a value, whether it is a number, it is a character, or a sentence. Now we need different data types to handle the real world information, as I said. Now these are the data types that are available in Java, that is long, integer, short, byte, double, float, character. So you can use these data types to store your integer numbers, to store your letters, to store your sentences. Okay, so for sentences you have got string. So these are the data types. I hope you are clear with it. Moving on, I come to the naming convention of variables. Now what are variables? Variables are the containers in which you store your values. Okay, now you define what kind of value can go into a variable using the data type. If you write int size of data type, Darshan says how to find. Now these size are already defined, okay, and this is the range that you go through. It is a simple concept, you just search for that, do a research, and you'll get it. Okay, Darshan? So these are the sizes that are present. Okay. Now, how to define a variable name? It could start with a letter, it could start with an underscore, or it could start with a $sign. These are the three initials using which you can define a variable. You cannot start with a number. If you start with a number, then it will be an error for you. Okay. Now these are some examples of variables. That is long. First the data type, that is what kind of value this variable will store. You'll mention that, and then you'll give the name of the variable. You can start with underscore, that's fine. You can start with a letter, that's fine. Dollar is good. Letter will work. G is fine, and V is also fine. So these are all valid data types, but if you define a variable name with starting with a number, then that would be an invalid variable name. Okay. Moving on. I come to static versus non-static variables. There are two kinds of variables present in Java. One is static variable, the second is non-static variables. Static variables are shared all across the object of a class. There is only one copy of that variable. Now, can any one of you give me a real world example where we can use a static variable in which we only require one copy of a variable that should be shared all across the application? Any one of you? Can you give me an example regarding that? If no, just write no on the chat. I'll give you the answer. I'll give you an example. Darshan says no. Lesson says no. What about the rest? Vikram says no. Okay, I'll give you the answer then. I request others also to write on the chat. Priyaranjan says no. Okay, let's consider a company. Like Edureka, it is a company. So in that company, there will be many employees. Each and every employee will have a profile. There will be a common thing in each and every profile, that is the name of the company. So what you can do, you can store the name of a company in a static variable because it could be shared all over the application, and that would be a single copy. Even if the name of the company changes in future, you just have to make a change in one particular position. By doing so, it would be reflected in each and every profile because there is only one copy of the variable present. So all of you, have you understood this example now? Everyone, please write it on the chat if yes. Priranjan says yes. Darshan says okay. Vikram says nice example. Thank you, Vikram. Okay then. Now, non-static variables, they are simple variables. There is a separate copy for each individual live object. Static variables cannot be declared within a method. So there is a condition, you cannot declare a static variable within a method, because if you define it inside a method, it will be confined to that method scope. You have to declare it globally. So I'll show you how to declare a static variable. You mention the static keyword first of all. You write static. Then you mention a data type like integer. You give a name of a variable, let's say count equals to 10. So this is a static variable, that is count. It has got only one copy and it has a value that is 10. Now you have to declare it outside any method, so it will be declared globally always. If I move it in the method, it will give you an error, as you can see. So I'll move it outside. Now, I'll show you how to use this variable. I'll just print out the value of this variable, okay? So, a static variable actually acts as a property of a class. So, for using a static variable, you have to use the name of the class itself. So, I'll just show you how to print the value. So, I'll write system.out.println. This is the output command using which you can print the output. So, what I'll write is println. In that, I'll mention the name of the class, that is first underscore class dot, then I can find my variable, that is count. Okay, so this way I can use the variable that is first name of the class, the dot operator, and then mention the variable that is count. If I run this code, for running you can press this one or right click on your project, go to run as and click Java application. So I receive a result 10 because the value of count was 10. So I hope everyone is clear how to declare a static variable and how to use a static variable. Please write down on the chat window. Darshan says yes. What about the rest of you? I request everyone to actively participate, interact with me. Aditya, Akash, Lesson, Darshan, Dinesh, Kartikeyan, Priyaranjan, Tilak. Okay. Moving on, we come to operators. You understood how to declare a variable, you understood how to store a value using the data types, how to define the nature of a value. Now using those values you can do many kinds of operations, but how to perform those operations, that can be done using operators in Java. Operators in Java has been divided into different categories. Basically there are 5 categories: assignment operator, arithmetic operator, relational, logical, unary operator. So we'll go through each of them one by one. First of all, I come to assignment and arithmetic operators. First, assignment operator. You would have seen that you give a variable that is integer x equals to 5. That means you are assigning a value 5 to the variable. How you are doing it? You are doing it using the assignment operator. So assignment operator assigns a value to a variable. For example, x equals to 5. That means 5 value has been assigned to a variable x using the assignment operator. So it is quite easy to understand. Second is the arithmetic operators. Arithmetic operators are for addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. These are common arithmetic operations. Now I come to modulo operator. Can any one of you tell me what is the function of a modulo operator? Please write it on the chat window. Everyone? Gives remainder, Darshan says. Exactly correct. It will give you a remainder, like the value of x is equals to 2 or 5, let's say 5. Prints the remainder of a division, Tilak says. Exactly correct, Tilak. For example, the value of x is 5 and there is a variable y whose value is 2. When you write x modulo y, then it will give you a result 1 because the remainder is 1. When you divide 5 by 2, you receive a remainder 1. Now there is an increment and decrement operator. Increment operator will increment the value of a variable by 1. The decrement operator will decrement the value of a variable by 1. Okay. Darshan will implement it. Okay, we'll see the practical version. So this was arithmetic operators. Moving on, we come to relational operators. It is used to compare values. These are also quite easy. That is when you have to check whether x is greater than y or not. This is for x less than y or not. Greater than equals to, less than equals to. This is the equivalence operator. Whenever you have to compare the values, whether they are equal or not, you will be using the equivalence, that is double equals to operator. Not equals to operator will check whether the value is not equal to or not. Okay, so these are some general operators. Now we come to logical operators. Now everyone be concentrate right here. There are 6 logical operators: conditional and, conditional or, bitwise and, bitwise or, not operator and exclusive or operator. In conditional and operator, these all operators actually works on 2 conditions. Okay, so conditional operator, if first condition is true and second condition is true, then only conditional and will give you a true result. In any other case, it will give you a false result. Like first one is false, second one is true, it will give you a false result. First one is true, second one is false, it will give you a false result. Okay. Both are false, then also it will give you a false result. But if both the conditions are true, in that case only that conditional and will give you a true result. I come to conditional or. In conditional or, if either of the conditions are true, it will give you a true result. Okay, both are true, gives you a true result. One is true, second is false, gives you a true result. First one is false, second one is true, will give you a true result. And if both are false, in that condition only it will give you a false result. Now bitwise and. Bitwise and works on single bits like 1 and 1. 1 and 1 bitwise and will give you a 1 result. Okay. 1 and 0 will give you a 0 result. 0 and 1 will give you a 0 result. And 0 and 0 will give you a 0 result. Okay. Bitwise or works the same. It works on the bits, that is single bits, like 1 and 1 gives you 1. 0 and 1 gives you 1, 1 and 0 gives you 1, and 0 and 0 gives you 0. Not operator. Not operator will negate the value, will give you a complement value. Okay. That is, if you write not equal to 1, it will give you 0. And if you write true equal not true, it will give you a false result. Okay. And finally the exclusive OR. Now can any one of you tell me in what conditions will be receiving results in an exclusive OR, that is true results? Bikram and Dinesh, when we'll be dealing with if and else condition, there I'll be dealing with operators also. I'll be showing you the practical examples. Okay. After this we'll go through if and else, and there I'll show you within the if and else construct how to use these operators. Now please tell me in what conditions I'll be receiving true results in exclusive OR. Please write down on the chat window. Let me see how many of you can give the answer. Okay, Karthikeyan says exclusive OR. Exactly. That is the XOR operator. Like 0 and 0 and 1 and 1, Darshan says. In 0 and 0 and 1 and 1, it will always give you a false result. Tilak says 1 0 and 0 1. Exactly correct. In 1 0 and 0 1, it will give you a true result. That means when the conditions are alternate, first one is true, second is false, gives you a result true. First one is false, second one is true, it will give you a result true. But if both the conditions are same, in that case it will give you a false result. Like true and true will give you a false result, false and false will give you a false result. Okay, so this was the logical operators. We'll be showing you examples in a while when we'll be dealing with if else construct. Okay, moving on, we come to statements and block. A simple statement is a command terminated by a semicolon. As you can see, name equals to Fred, semicolon, so this is one statement. A block is a compound statement enclosed in curly braces. That is, whenever you show a block, you open the curly brace, you close the curly brace. Now in a block you can contain multiple statements. You can find one semicolon here, so this is one statement. Second semicolon over here, so this is second statement, right? And finally, a block may contain other blocks within that, and it can contain multiple statements. That means there can be nested blocks present, one within the other. I hope you understand this. Everyone, please write down on the chat window. Are you clear with it? Okay, Blushan says yes. Dinesh says okay sir, I got it. Priyaranjan says yes sir. Tilak says yes. Okay, Darshan and Bikram also says yes. That's good. Moving on, I come to flow control. Java executes one statement after the other in the order they are written. That means first one will get executed first, then comes second, third, fourth, fifth, and so on. So one after the other it gets executed in the order they are written. Now there are many statements that actually change the flow control. They are called the flow control statements. You can alternate the flow of execution by using if else and switch. Okay, we'll also go through looping statements like for, while and do while. Now these are called the Java basic constructs. If else, switch statement, for loop, while loop and do while loop. We'll be going through them one by one, and the first one is if else syntax. Now how to use if else construct in your application. You write the if keyword first. Within the parenthesis, what you do, you mention a condition. If the condition turns out to be true, then it will execute these statements. That is, execute these statements if condition is true. If the condition is false, what it will do, it will skip this part, it won't execute this one, it will directly come to the else part and it will execute the statement if the condition is false. Okay, so let's go to Eclipse and we'll try to implement this part. I come here, I'll just comment these lines. If else construct, so I need a condition, so I'll use the same static variable. I'll place a simple condition, that is count equals to 10. Oh, sorry, equivalence 10. Okay, in that I'll print a statement system.out.println. I'll print count itself. Similarly, I'll copy this statement. If the condition is false, it should print, okay, instead of this it should print false here, and here it should print true. Okay, so I'll just save the file. Now all of you tell me, if I run this code, what will be the result that I would receive? Darshan says condition should always generate Boolean result or other can be allowed. Condition has to always generate a Boolean result. Tilak says true. Darshan. Okay, in Java, if or only takes the Boolean value right here. But if you talk about C language, in C language you can even pass 1. That is an integer value that is considered to be true. Okay. Yes, exactly correct, Tilak and Aditya. When I run this code, I'll receive a value true because the condition was checked here. Count is equals to 10. Hence it comes here, execute this block, and it will leave the else block. If I change this condition to not equals to, I'm simultaneously using the operator. So everyone take a look. Now I'm using a not equals to operator. I'll run this code again. This time the condition was false, so it printed the else block. It skipped this one. Okay, so I receive false in the console window. So this is the use of if-else construct. It alternates the flow of control. Now I'll see the logical operators. So first of all, I'll show you conditional and. Conditional and I'll mention the same. Okay, so we have got two conditions. First one is true, second one is also true. So in this case, I'll receive a result true. Run this code, control F11, I receive output true. I'll make the first condition false now and second one is true. When we conditional AND this, we'll receive a false result here, so it directly executes the else part. Okay, now I'll make both the conditions false and I run this code. I'll receive a false result because the condition was false in here. Right? Now we come to conditional OR. Now if I change this condition to conditional OR, what will be the result I would receive? Can any one of you tell me? Anyone, please write down on the chat window. Darshan says true. Tilak says false. And I go with Tilak, that is, it will give me a result false because both the conditions are false right now, so it will give me a false result. In all the other cases, if I change first one to true and second is false, it will give me a true result. Okay? Even in this, it will give me a true result. I hope it is clear to everyone. So now we move on to XOR operator first of all. Now in this case, both the conditions are true. What will be the result that I would receive? Can any one of you tell me? Blessing says false. Akash says true. Dinesh says false. Aditya says false. Exactly correct. It will give me a false result because both the conditions are same. If I change one of the conditions, one is true and the second one is false, I run this code, I'll receive a result true because the condition was true. Okay, so all of you are clear with conditional operators now? Okay, I receive yeses, that's good. Getting back to the presentation. Okay, Tilak says, what is the difference between conditional OR and bitwise OR? The difference is bitwise OR actually works on singular bits. Okay, and these conditional statement gives you a Boolean value. They work on two conditions. Is that clear to you, Tilak? Okay, he says yes. Moving on, I come to switch case statement. This is the format that you follow. You have a switch keyword, you mention the expression within that. On the basis of that expression, you check the cases. You make different cases. If case is 1, it will print this one and it will get out of the loop using the break statement. Then again, you have got the second condition. If the condition is true, it will execute this block and it will get out of the loop using the break statement. If the condition does not matches any one of the cases, it will directly go to the default one and it will print the default case. Let's see on Eclipse how to use switch case. I'll just comment this part again. Control 7. I move down. I come to switch case statement. Now I'll pass a key. Let's define an integer value key equals to 1. I'll make two cases, simple. Case 1, I'll copy this part and I'll mention the second case as well too. So I made two cases. If the case is 1, what it will print, that is system.out.println, it should only print case 1. Similarly, I'll copy this part. I'll come to case 2 and I print case 2 right here. Karthikeyan says switch case can accept string. Now in the latest, that is JRE 7, the latest version of Java, it can also accept string. But all the lower versions do not accept string. Okay, they can only accept a character value or an integer value. Right? So I won't advise you to use a switch case using the string parameter or a string expression because your application won't work in the lower versions. Is that clear, Karthikeyan? Please write down on the chat window if yes. Okay, that's good. This time I'll mention default and I'll save the file. Now all of you, be quick and tell me what will be the answer if I run this code. Exactly, Akash, it would be case 1. Yes, Tilak, you are also right because the value was passed right here, so it directly came to case 1 and it executed this statement, and using the break statement it got out of the loop. That is out of the switch case. If I change the condition to true, 2, then in this case what will happen, it will directly jump to the second case, it will execute this one and it will get out of the switch case using case 2. Yes, Pleasant and Akash, it will give me a result case 2. And if none of the cases matches, let's say 7 is passed, none of the case matches, so it will directly go to the default one and print default in the output string, that is default. So all of you, are you clear how to use a switch case statement? Everyone? Akash says yes. What about the rest of you? Be quick and let me know. Dinesh says, why don't we use break in default statement? Because default is present at the end, okay? And I am using a default break statement in the default one. It is completely up to you. If you are placing your default one in the end, then you can remove this default, okay? It won't matter. I hope it is clear to you. Getting back to the presentation, now we come to loops, okay? We'll be starting with loops now. We'll deal with all the 3 loops, that is for, while and do while all together, and then we'll go to Eclipse and we'll implement the codes, okay? So everyone be patient. First of all, for loop. For using for loop, you mention the for keyword, you initialize a variable within that is integer I equals to 0, I less than 5, I plus plus. Now this is the condition on which this loop runs, and this is the increment value. So I'll show you the working. First thing is your variable gets initialized. After that, it checks the condition whether the value of I is less than 5 or not. If true, it goes inside and it will execute the statements. After doing that, it comes back and it will increment the value of I right here. After that, it again checks the condition, and if it is less than 5, the condition is true, it will go inside and execute the statements once again. And this cycle will go on again and again till the condition is false, till the value of I is equals to 5. It is no more less than 5. In that case, it will be false and it will get you out of the for loop. So all of you, are you clear with the working of a for loop? Please write down on the chat window. Tilak says yes, Darshan says yeah, Akash says yes, Dinesh says yes, Blessing says yes, Vikram says yeah. Wonderful. Now I come to while loop. It is also quite similar, but there is a syntax change, okay? You'll be initializing your variable outside the while keyword. You write the while keyword, mention a condition on which the loop will run, mention the statements within the block, and the increment will be present in the block itself. So first of all, the variable gets initialized. After that, it checks the condition whether it is true or not, whether the value of I is less than 5 or not. After doing that, if it is true, it goes inside and executes the statements, increments the value of I, and then again comes back and checks the condition. If it is true, it will follow the cycle till the time the condition gets false, till the time I is equals to 5. Okay? So this loop will run. I hope you are clear with while loop as well. It is quite similar to the for loop. Moving on, I come to the do while loop. For do while loop, you initialize the variable. First of all, you use the do keyword in the block. You mention the statements and the increment. After that, you mention a while keyword and you place the condition on which this do while loop will run. So first thing, initialization of variable. Second, goes inside and it will execute the statements, increments the value and checks the condition. So after checking the condition, again comes and execute the statements. This cycle will run till the condition is false, till the value of I is equals to 5. Now can any one of you tell me what is the difference in do while loop? There is something different in do while loop than while or for loop. Can any one of you tell me? Please write down on the chat window. Until that time, I'll go to Eclipse. Okay, Karthikeyan says, can we be able to use string in condition like I equals to hello? In condition like, yes, Karthikeyan, absolutely you can pass hello in your switch case statements, but in the later version of Java. Okay, in the previous versions you won't be able to do it. Akash says, at least once type code executes. Exactly correct. In do while, absolutely correct. Tilak says it executes at least once even though it does not satisfy the given condition. Absolutely correct. Okay, so let's see the examples. How to implement it will be quite quick because I think you guys are already aware of the loops. So write for integer I equals to 0, I less than 5, that is the condition, and finally I increment the value, that is I plus plus. In that I'll mention the condition, that is I'll execute the statement system.out.println. I'll print the value of I. Now all of you be quick, if I run this code, what will be the result that I would receive on the console window? Everyone write down on the chat. Akash says 0 to 4 and that's the correct answer. Control F11, that is 0 to 4. Dinesh says 5. No. Aditya says 0 to 4, correct. That's good. Now I'll move down, I'll just come in this for loop. Now at any point, if any one of you have got any question, you can ask me, okay? I come to while loop now. While loop with condition, I'll define a variable int condition equals to 0. Initializing the variable, I'll make a condition less than 5. Okay. Within the while loop, what I'll do, I'll place a statement similar to the for one, that is system.out.println. That will print the value of condition itself. Now if I run this loop, what will be the result I would receive? No, Karthikeyan, not like that. Like if you have got, I'll just show you. Lesson says 0 to 4. No, lesson, it won't. It will be an infinite loop right now. It will keep on printing zeros. It is because I haven't placed a increment condition. So I have to increment the counter as well. That is condition plus plus and semicolon. This time it will give me a result 0 to 4. Exactly correct. Okay, now I'll just quickly answer Karthikeyan's question. Let's say make it string. Hello equals to hello. Okay, I hope Karthikeyan this answers your query right now. Are you clear? Please quickly write down on the chat window if you have understood this. Lesson says yes. Karthikeyan, let me know. Now I'll implement the do while loop. Okay, let's use the same variable. I'll comment this while one. Dinesh says clear answer. Karthikeyan says yeah, it's my doubt. So is it clear to you, Karthikeyan? That's what I'm asking. It can accept it. Okay, I was showing you the example. Now I come to do while loop. Let's use the string as well. Equals to hello. In this also I'll show you. Right? Within this I'll place a statement system.out.println and it will print condition itself. Now this loop will keep on running. Okay, I run this code. It will keep on printing hello because the condition will always be equal to hello, right? So if I change the condition within that, I'll just write condition equals to this time my name, that is Vineet, and I put a semicolon. So I'm changing the value of condition and now I run this code. What will be the result, guys? Quickly tell me. Okay, I'll run this code. I receive only hello because first time it runs at least once and then the value of condition was changed. The condition was false, hence it did not run for the second time. No, Aditya, it won't print beneath. Okay. No, Karthikeyan, you cannot increment a string value. Okay, and yes, you're right. Okay, then quickly getting back, we are done with loops now. I come to methods. Methods have got 5 components. One is modifiers, the return type, the method name, the parameter list in parentheses, and the method body enclosed between braces. So this is the diagram. Return type. It could be public, private, protected. So that is a return type. Sorry, that is the modifiers. Okay, public, private, protected. That is what is the permission for using this method. Then we come to return type. What kind of value will this method return? Whether it will be a integer value, a string, or character. Okay, or whether it will not return anything. In that case, you'll mention it as void. Second thing is the name of the method. Now using the name of the method, you will be using this method in your application. Okay, this would be the identifier of this method. Finally, we come to the number of parameters, that is what kind of parameters and how many parameters does it take. Let's take an example of an addition function. Now that addition function will take 2 input parameters, that is 2 integers. So you will be mentioning int x comma int y. Using those values of x and y, it will compute the addition in the body of the method within the braces. Okay, here you will be making the logic, you will be writing the logic of this method, that is what kind of operation this method will perform. So let's see a very small example of a method so that you are clear how to use a method. So I come here outside the main method. I mentioned first of all I'll show you void method, void add. So this is a simple void method. I'll print something system.out.println, printing void. Okay, it will print void. Now for using this method, I have created an object of this class. So using the object, I can use the contents of the class. So I'll write ob dot, I can use the add method and I call this method. Now when I run this code, all of you tell me what will be the result that I would receive. Please write down on the chat window. Dinesh says void, Tilak says void, Akash says void, Dinesh says, okay, absolutely correct. For run this code, it will directly call, when it executes this statement that is ob.add, it will call this function and it will print void. Now I'll change this method, I'll put a return type in that is it will return an integer value, and within this I'll make integer x comma integer y. Okay, so it will add the numbers, and in system.out.println it will print. I'll just remove this, I'll add a return type. Okay, whenever a function is using return, so you have to use the return keyword. In that I'll return the sum of x and y. So all of you, are you clear with this? That is, I've written right here, return x plus y, that means it will return the sum of value x and y. Karthikeyan says yes. What about the rest of you? Yes, Dinesh, you can come up with your doubt, absolutely. Aditya, Akash, what about you? Blessing, Priyaranjan Tilak. Okay, I receive yeses. So I come here on the top. Now this time I have to pass parameters as well. So let's say 10 comma 10. Okay, 101 comma 10, let it be. And I'll say, I'll just print this value out. Okay, system.out.println. Within this I'll pass it and I'll close the parenthesis. So whatever value that will be returned from this method will be printed out on the console window. So tell me what will be the result I would receive. Akash says 111, that's correct, I'll receive 111. Tilak, it will be 111. Yes, all of you are correct. Now Dinesh is asking me a question, that is why we use int by return. Okay, because it is using two integer values, right? So the sum will also be an integer value, hence we are mentioning that it will return an integer value. Are you clear, Blessing? Sorry, are you clear, Dinesh? Please write down on the chat window. Okay, that's good. We come to arrays. An array is a list of similar things, that is, it can store all the similar kind of items. It is a storage container. An array has got three things fixed. One is the name of the array. Second is the type of the array, that means what kind of values this array can store. And finally the length of the array. What will be the size of the array, that means how many elements can this array can store. So these must be declared when the array is created. Array size cannot be changed during the execution of the code. So let's see how to use an array. So just commenting this and even this. Here itself I show you an array. So write the value, what kind of value it will store, give the data type for the array integer, give the name of the array, put the brackets, equals to, new operator will assign memory to this array, again mention the return integer type, that is what kind of values, open the brackets, and within the brackets mention the size of the array. So this array right here has got a name, that is ARR. It can store integer values within it, and the size of the array is 5. That means it can store 5 values within this array. The index of this array, you can store values in the array like this. This array 0. So it starts from 0. So the final index will be 4. 0 to 4. So write 1 like this. So using the index you can assign the array, or you can directly use a loop to fill the array. So I'll write for loop integer I equals to 0, I less than. You can, for one thing you can do, you can write I less than 5, or you can use the name of the array ARR dot length. Okay, length is the property of an array which fetches the size of the array. Finally, increment the value of I. In this, first of all, I'll add ARR, open the brackets, in that I'll pass I as index, equals to, I'll put the value I plus 1 within that. And there itself I'll print the value of array also, that is system.out.println ARR brackets, and within that I. So all of you, if I run this code, what will be the result I would receive? No, Tilak, you cannot do that. I'll just show you. It will give you an error. Dinesh says 5. It will print the value from 1 to 5. Akash, you are correct. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So all of you, are you clear how to use an array? Now, Dinesh is saying, Tilak is saying, can we mention it like this? Here 5. So it will always give you an error. I'll show you other things as well. You can remove this bracket and you can place before the name as well. This is also the correct syntax. Or another way is, open the curly braces, put the semicolon, within that place your values. So it will directly take the size automatically. Okay. It will be initialized as well as size will be defined like this. So Tilak, I hope your question has been answered. Karthikeyan saying, if we overload array, what will happen? If you overload it, it will actually show you an error. Integer, or sorry, let's say any other type character, okay? Array ARR equals to the brackets. So can you see it is showing you an error? Even if I put elements within that, characters are passed like this. So you cannot overload the array name. Are you clear with it? Karthikeyan, please write down on the chat window. Okay, that's good. So example of an array, as soon as you write this statement gets executed, there is a memory allocated. First memory location is array 0, array 1, array 2, array 3, array 4, using which you can assign the values. So I run this for loop, same loop, that is I equals to 0, I less than 5, I plus plus. I will be 0 first time, so array 0 will have value 1 right here. Array 1 will have 2, array 2 will have 3. For the fourth time, array 3 will have 4 value, and array 4 will have got 5 value. And after that it will get out of the for loop. So I hope every one of you is quite clear how to use an array, how to populate it, and how to print the array. Please write down on the chat window. Then I'll move on to the next one. Tilak says yes, Dinesh says yes, Karthikeyan says yes, Akash says yes. What about the rest of you? Priyaranjan, Lesson says yes. These are other examples of array, and I've already told you that is array.length. The length property can be used to find the length of the array, that is the size of the array. Now we come to the actual implementation. Okay, we learned the few concepts, and even you guys had few knowledge of Java from before itself. So can you tell me the answer right here? The answer to this question, what will be the output if I run this particular code that is right in front of you? First you give me the answer and then I'll show you the solution for it. No, Dinesh, that won't be the answer. See the question in front of you that is written. There is a boolean variable. You have got an integer x equals to 343, Now in Y you are creating the object of Edureka, this is other way, and you are calling the function that is go. In that you are passing first the boolean variable and the value x, the variable x. So it will be stored in B, the boolean true and the variable 343. This function gets executed, there will be a value returned and it will be stored in the variable y. Finally you are printing the value y. Now if you can give me the answer, everyone, give it, or just write no on the chat. Then I'll give you the solution, I'll show it. Think it is quite easy answer. Blessing says no. Now these questions are actually on the pattern of OCPJP examination, right? Okay, Dinesh says 49, Tilak says error, Dinesh says 7, Akash says 49, Dinesh says 49 and 7. No Dinesh, those of you who have said that the result would be 49 are correct. I'll show you how. So I'll just open the solution. I have got the solution from before. So this was the code right here. Change it to true. In the question it was true. Okay, so we have got true boolean variable x equal to 343. I'm passing true and boolean variable to the function. So b will be equal to true and I will be equal to 343 right here. Akash says E. Karthikeyan says how. Okay, so since you are calling this function, you are passing boolean variable and 343. It is saved in B. That is true, and I will 343. You are checking the condition if. If the condition is true, it directly goes inside and returns the value, that is I divided by 7, which is equal to 343 divided by 7 equals to 49. 49 is returned and it saves to Y, and you are printing the variable Y. It does not come to this statement. I run this code, Control F11, and you can see the result 49 on the console window. If I change it to false, okay, if the condition is boolean variable is false, here it won't go inside and it will execute this one. This time you'll be receiving the result 7. Control F11, I receive the result 7 in the console window. So Karthikeyan, are you clear? Each and every one of you, please write down on the chat window, are you clear with it? How you are receiving the result 49 there? Okay, that's good. Now the question round is not clear. I'm coming to second question. Priyaranjan says, got it, sir? Now give me the answer to this question right here. Now which code fragment inserted at line 4? That means this one, first, second, third, and this is the fourth line. Which of the lines right here will give you a result like this? That is one bar, there is a space and this value and then a bar. Tell me, if first one will give you this result, or the second one, or the third one? Akash says that the third one will give you the result. What about the others? Do you think Akash is correct? Dinesh says no idea, sir. Tilak says third one. Blessing says no idea. Priyaranjan says no idea. Karthikeyan says don't know. Absolutely, Tilak and Akash are correct. It will give you the result, third one, the third statement. So let's see now. I come to question 2 and open this. Now I'll just print the third one, Control F11. As you can see, bar, there is a space and then 12.345. Now Dinesh is saying how exactly, I'll tell you. Now point 3 is representing that after the point it will be displaying 3 values, hence you have got 343. 7 is representing that there will be total of 7 spaces, that is 5, 3, 4, 3, that is 3 space, dot is 4th one, 2 is 5th one, 1 is 6th one, and finally a space, that is 7. So total will be 7 characters, that is 7 spaces, and after point it will print 3 values. If I change this 7 to 8, this time there will be 8 spaces, so in starting you have got 2 space. Karthikeyan says yes, got it. What about Dinesh and the rest of you? Let me know, have you understood it? Blessing says got it. Tilak says yes. What about the others? Akash says yes, that's good. Moving on to the third question. Dinesh says, understood, sir. Now give me the answer to this one. I told you an array, right? Now I'm asking you about a two-dimensional array. This question is on two-dimensional array. Now sometimes you would have seen that in your examination you receive a question out of the course, right? So this is an out of the course question for you. Give me the answer to this. What will be the result? Will it print 2, 3, 4, 6 or 7, or it is a compilation fails? Dinesh says 3. I don't think Dinesh 3 would be the answer. Akash says error. Akash, you are also wrong. Karthikeyan says answer is 3, that is B. No, Karthikeyan, the answer is not 3. What about others, guys? Attempt the question, let me know. Blessin says 6. Well, Blessin, you are quite close. You're actually figuring it out right, but still your answer is wrong. Tilak says 7. Exactly correct answer. 7 would be the answer, and I'll tell you how it is 7. Good answer, Tilak. I come here, I'll just close this. I open the question 3, and this is the question. Now what is happening? You are printing y21, okay? Y is exactly similar to x because you are assigning y the complete values of x, okay? So you are actually asking for 2 and 1. Let's understand this format first of all. So this is one block, the first bracket. You have got two brackets, so this is one block, this is the second block, and this is the third block. But in your Java, every index starts from 0. So this is 0 block, this is 1 block, and this is the second block. Okay, so if you're writing in the first block 2, so it is directly going to the second block first of all, then you're writing 1. So the values are 0, 1. So 1 at one position, it is 7. Hence it is printing the value 7, control F11, and in the console window you can see 7. Akash says, okay, I got it. Karthikeyan says, yes, answer is 7. What about the rest of you? All of you write down on the chat window. Are you clear with it? Dinesh, are you clear with it? Tilak says yes. Dinesh says, simple idea, I fails. Okay. So I hope you are clear with it, every one of you. And I come to one more question. And this is also an out of the course question. It is on the array list. Okay, now tell me what will be the result if you execute this code right here. Every one of you, please write down on the chat window what will be the result. Dinesh says C. Okay, what about the rest? What do you think? Dinesh is correct? Tilak says D. Okay, I'll go with Dinesh. Dinesh has answered this question correctly. I'll show you how. I come to the fourth question now. Now, you have got an array list. You have inserted value 1, 5 and 3. So I'll just comment these part first of all, these two, and I'll only print the array list. So I'm calling collection. Array list is a kind of collection. Yes, Akash, that's the correct answer. Array list is a kind of collection. So using which what I'm doing, I'm printing the array. Okay, I press Control F11, so it will sort the array. I'll also comment this one so that you can find out the difference. First of all, I added the value, so it is 1, 5 and 3. After that, I execute this statement, that is collection.sort. I pass the array list, that is A. I run this code. This time I'll receive 1, 3, 5. It has sorted, it has arranged the values in an ascending order. After that, I add one more value, that is 2. So if I add one more value, so I'll receive a result 1, 3, 5, 2. As you can see, 1, 3, 5, 2. Then I reverse the value. When I reverse it, I'll receive a result 2, 5, 3, 1. and that's the answer 2531. So all of you, have you got the answer? Tilak, have you understood it? Tilak says okay. What about the rest of you? Everyone write down on the chat. Karthikeyan says yes. Akash says yes. Simple. Okay. So this was the final question for all of you. So this is the way we actually teach. Okay, we provide you the concept first of all. After that, we take you through few questions at the end of the class, so that you get to apply your concepts, right? And let's give you few more information. Akash says, don't you teach offline? No, Akash, we provide online classes because these are much more beneficial than the offline. I'll give you the advantage. Like, you do not have to go anywhere, so you are saving a lot of time of going and coming back from there, right? Second thing, online, the availability of the instructor will be more. You can come online anytime on Skype, and you can take the Skype session with an expert. You can ask as many queries that you want. Okay, we will be available throughout the week for you, right? Dinesh says good timings of classes. Exactly. Now I'll show you a few details. I'll tell you each and every detail of the course so that you are quite familiar with it. So I go to Chrome now. Open edureka.in first of all. Log in with your Facebook account. After entering your details, you'll be logged in directly. Scroll down and you can find SCJP OCPJP 6.0. Click on that. You'll come to this page right here. So these are the key features, salient features of this course. Live online classes will be held for you. Okay. 24/7 online expert help will be available to you. Exam simulation with 10 full-length mock examinations. Okay, will prepare you thoroughly for the final exam, that is the OCPJP exam. Now we'll provide you the same pattern papers and we'll provide you time. In that time you'll be attempting that exam itself, and you have to clear that. We'll be the one who will be telling you that yes, now you are prepared to take the examination. Okay, and you can go at your own pace. It is not so that if I say that in one month you have to complete the course and after that it is up to you, take your exam. It is not like that. The way we teach is we'll be preparing you till the time you're actually prepared. Okay, we'll set the target and we'll prepare you till that time, and then we'll tell you yes, now you are prepared for the examination, you can go for it. Dinesh says cost of examination fees for OCPJP. For OCPJP, you have to take the examination from Oracle itself. Okay, and the cost is near about $300. That is around 15,000 rupees. Okay, that is why people actually take a course before that, so that they can prepare themselves for the final OCPJP exam. Once they take the course, complete the course, and then they apply for OCPJP. Karthikeyan says, can we be able to ask questions on any time? Exactly, Karthikeyan. That is what 24/7 online expert help means. Okay, you can have Skype sessions as well. Akash says OCPJP combines both J2SE and J2EE. Now I'll explain you, Akash. OCPJP only includes the core Java certification. First of all, there are 3 levels. First level only includes the core Java 1. Now in this course, you'll also receive the recorded sessions of all the classes. Like you're attending the class right now, you'll receive the recorded session of this very class. So you can go through the recording again and again and clear the concepts. You'll be becoming an Oracle certified Java programmer after OCPJP, as well as once you do our course, we'll also provide you a certification from Edureka itself, which will be globally accepted and can be verified from our website. Okay, let me show you a course content. That is, in this we'll be teaching all those topics of core Java. Apart from that, we'll also cover advanced topics like networking, applets, event handling, AWT, swing, JDBC connectivity, JSP and servlets, RMI. These are not the topics of SCJP. SCJP and OCPJP are same thing, Akash. They are both the same thing. Dinesh says, how many years this certification will be valid? Once taken, it will be always valid, Dinesh. Akash says, what is exam fee? Exam fee for that is $300. That is around 1,500 rupees. 15,000 rupees, sorry. Okay. So in this course, we will not only prepare you for the OCPJP examination, but also we prepare you for your future. When you go for a job, you'll certainly get a preference, right? Since you'll be Oracle certified after you clear your paper. But you'll only have the knowledge of core Java, and that is not good enough for a company. Hence what we do, we not only provide you the core Java, we not only prepare you for OCPJP, but we also prepare you for your future, for your company experience. Hence we provide you all the advanced topics as well in this very course. So I hope you are quite clear with it. You can come to the page and go through the course content as well. Now I'll tell you how to take up the course, which is one of the important things. When you come to this page, click on buy now. You'll be redirected to this page. Okay. Now your batch, Dinesh is your right, sir. Thank you. Now your batch is starting. The next batch is starting on 23rd of March. Now in order to attend that batch, in order to go further in this course, in order to enroll in this course, you have to pay the fees, and the fees of the course is 8,999, and including the tax you'll have to pay 10,112 rupees. But there is a good news for each and every one of you. All of you are receiving a 20% discount on the entire course fee. You just have to click on have discount coupon, enter your discount code, that is OCPJP_20. This is your discount code. I'll copy it, I'll send it to you on your chat. Click on redeem. As soon as you click on redeem, you'll receive a discount of 2,023 rupees, and you just have to pay 8,089 rupees only for the entire course. Okay. After doing that, you can click on pay now, and you'll come to this page, enter your details, and you can do the payment by credit card, debit card, net banking, cash cards, mobile payments. Okay, these are the mode of payments that you can use to do the payment. Finally, click on submit, and you can enroll yourself in the entire course. So I'll just send the discount code on your chat window so that you can note it down. So please note it down. It is a 20% discount code, and it will be only valid for few days, that is 1 or 2 days. It will be only valid till Sunday, that is 17th of March. So you need to enroll yourself as soon as possible. There are very limited seats in the course. Our 16th batch has already been booked, and it is on the run. Okay, it is continuing. It will be starting from tomorrow itself. There was a batch on 16th. So for that, you'll have to enroll yourself as soon as possible using the discount code. If you want to use it, you'll have to enroll yourself by tomorrow or day after tomorrow by the latest. Okay, then we come to the final slide now. Dinesh says okay. Now I would like to ask one question from each and every one of you. How many of you want to really come to the next class and enroll yourself in the entire course? Please write down on the chat window. Let me see. Does any one of you want to come to the next class? Do you want to learn Java entirely in this way as we taught today? The practical version. Dinesh says yes. He wants to come in. Priyaranjan says yes. Okay. Karthikeyan says yes. Aditya says yes. What about others? Tilak, what about you? Not interested? Akash says yes, he'll be coming to the next class. What about Tilak? And okay, Tilak says I'm not very sure right now, but Tilak, this is a good offer for you right here. That is the 20% discount. I'm not very sure after Sunday will anyone receive this discount. Okay, this is only a limited time offer for each and every one of you, right? So it was great class. Thank you all for being here today, and try to enroll yourself as soon as possible. Okay, you can enroll right after the class. You can enroll by tomorrow also. Okay. Now there will be a survey right after this class. Give your comments, give your suggestions so that we can improve ourselves and provide you a better class in the future. Okay. There will be, you can give the rating to the instructor, you can give the rating to the class, everything. Akash says you are a good instructor. Thank you, Akash. But whatever good or bad you want to give it to me or the class, what you can do, you can just fill in the survey and give your comments, okay? It will be really helpful for us. Dinesh says you're a good faculty. Thank you. So don't forget to give your suggestion, and I hope to see you in the next class. We'll have a great class next time, right? So I hope everyone comes to the next class and enroll yourself in the entire course. Get a certification from Edureka first of all, a lot of knowledge, and finally go for OCPJP. Okay? So bye bye all. Thank you for being here today. It was a great class with all of you. Bye bye. Thank you. Good night. Don't forget to fill in the survey. Dinesh says bye, sir.